Right, hi everyone. Showtime on Friday, the 8th of November at the NEC Classic Motor Show. Angus Campbell here. Right, as promised in the previous video, just do a quick daily for a change this time, and a bit more of a detailed look at the complete BSA Owners Club stand. It's now 20 to 4 in the afternoon, so getting a bit late on, but we've had a busy day and lots of interest. So let me just do a bit of a walk round the stand just to give you a bit more detail on each of the bikes. Right, we'll start this side. First of all, Rogers Mark 1 Rocket 3, ridden in, well used bike but very tidy. And although not the original paint, more of a, what do you call it, slight bronze hint to that red, but yeah, nice colour. Other than that, very standard. Next to that we've got Vic's C11G. Don't know what year that is actually, apologies, I'm a bit of a heathen with these, but I do know and learnt yesterday that the G stands for generator as opposed to the earlier dynamo. So that's the plunger version, and I believe the later C12 went to swinging arm. Nice, well kept bike, that lovely colour, almost like the Triumph Maroon, dare I say. But next to that, it's later colleague C15. Now again, I'm not sure of the year of this, but obviously without a letter on the reg, it's pre-63, so maybe 62-ish. Again, now whose is this? So this is Allen's, I think. Yeah. Again, nicely turned out in its mint green. I used to have a C15 trial, which actually I built up from parts, but it was a C15T motor, and I had energy transfer on it, built it up from parts, got it registered, and had a couple of trips to France on it, on charity rides when we used to do those in the old days. And then we got Mick Fern's trial bike. Now then, this is all in the frame with a Triumph engine in it, and I'll have to check to see whether this is a 500 or a 350, and I think that says 5TA, so that's a 500. Why don't I look at that? And I was just about to say that this is a well-used bike, a bit like Mick's Bantams as well. And I knew he was at the Beamish this year, as was Phil Bull, who's on the stand, the National Secretary. And there you go, class winner for me, machines over 450, so there you go, it's a 500. One thing I noticed as well is it's got the plastic guards on it, and the back one, the shape of the back one, reminds me of a brand in the past called Preston Petty, get it right, guards, which were marketed in the States, orange guards that people put on their B50 and Triumph TR5 MX scramblers to make them a bit lighter. And you still see them occasionally now, the Preston guards come up. Obviously they're old and they perish. This one is Mark's, and there we go, C15 trial. Talk of the devil. Very similar to the one I had, although mine, I put small alley tank on it. Now I think, I'm not sure, and don't hold me to it, but the genuine C15 Trials petrol tank was different to the Roadster. Now I'm not sure whether that is a genuine C15 trial tank or not, but it's certainly different to the Roadster one over there, but we might be talking a different year. Just bear with me a sec. Right, and right, so it's a genuine C15T motor, so very nice. Right, moving around the stand, so just to get your bearings, there's the guys in the new gazebo with all the advertising. Right, next one up, kindly loaned by the National Motorcycle Museum, is one of the prototype BSA badged, what became the Hurricane. When Craig Vetter designed this and sent his prototype over, Umberslade Hall then evaluated it, and in 1971 I think a couple of prototypes, BSA badge prototypes, there may have been more, I'm not sure of the number, were made prior to them being accepted for manufacture ultimately as Triumph Hurricanes at Meriden. And this is one of the original prototypes. As I say, however many prototypes there were, it's less than a handful. And this engine number, I believe this does have provenance, and this engine number is from 1971. Could do with a little bit of a tidying up really, cable routing and all that, but anyway, in reasonable nick. And although a prototype, that's exactly how the production machines were turned out. I used to have a Hurricane for many years. I can't see any difference between this and my full production Hurricane, of which there are about 1100 and just shy of 1150 I believe, or 1173, it depends what you read, of that order of magnitude were eventually produced, and that used up all probably the stock BSA rocket 3 parts that were still in the group. Probably one of the reasons for the exercise really. They needed to make some money from what they got left. So, as I say, kindly loaned by Wes and James at the NMM. And over the entrance to this side, and 2 aerial 3s kindly brought over by Chris Lewis. Both of them in full working order. Both with the rear rack and one with a pretty rare spare wheel cradle. And both used. And actually these are drawing them in, so neither of these are mine. I've got the sort of greenish one, which is called Everglade, that colour. Back at base. We need to do some videos of me riding that, to be honest. Well, Chris has also got quite a lot of original documentation, like sales packs. There's another pack he's got as well, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's got lots of material in there, press release packs and things like that. Fascinating stuff. I've got quite a bit of documentation myself, but he's got more, and that's annoying. Right, I know we did a bit on these probably yesterday, but let's do that again. So now then, what we've gone down this side is BSA Fury Alley with my 2 Furies there, the SS and the Roadster, but also its stable, the Triumph stablemate on the left there, the Triumph Bandit. But we'll start with this one because there is a link, because this is a Bandit Fury rolling chassis with a B50 engine in it that NVT produced as a prototype isoelastic mounted engine, and there were a couple of these, and I think they were actually badged as Nortons because it was NVT at the time, and I'm sure it was at 74 at the earliest. And quite a neat looking bike. It's a Norton Commando tank, but and a different mudguard on the front, which looks very similar to Mark Rocket 3 to me. But the rest of the rolling chassis, side panel, oil tank, etc., all Fury, and the motor sits in there really well. You can see they were struggling with emissions at the time. They've got the annual discharge silencers on, which obviously they put on the ultimately on the Commando and the T160 Trident. Also, they got a 1-2 exhaust as well, so they were trying to let it breathe without smothering it too much. But anyway, quite a nice bike. And as I said yesterday, there's a Norton badged one that's been restored and is in Sammy Miller's museum. But ultimately, another one that didn't make the market. Then we've got the grey framed Fury SS Plum Crazy. Now the difference between the SS and the Roadster cosmetically is obviously high level pikes. These are black chrome, but the original ones weren't black chromed. They were some sort of matte finish. I think these days you'd obviously use ceramic coating. But the black chrome looks nice, and it does keep fairly well. The other difference is chrome guards on the Street Scrambler and black brake plates, and also these are optional bars I managed to find with the right part number as an optional in the parts book. Other than that, they're exactly the same. The motor's exactly the same, no difference. This Street Scrambler does have the optional electric start, which does work. Now we were hoping to get the very first Turner prototype that he designed with his team, which was going to be called the Triumph Toledo. But what came was the National Motorcycle Museum kindly loaded us the Bandit, their Bandit. And as I say, it's quite ironic that one of the rarest Triumphs ever produced is on the BSA Owners Club stand in full view of the Triumph owners, who, to be fair, have come over and we've had a good chat about it. Now the only difference between the Triumph Bandit and its Fury stablemate is obviously the colour scheme. The seat cover, which is the standard sort of striped effect on the top, and also the tank. The tank is different, and in fact this tank should have, not that, but an aluminium strip fixed there and two holes at the back that runs down the centre. And if you look at any of the videos of me commissioning stroke renovating Tony Page's Bandit SS, then we managed to find one and put that on. Might try and dig out a photo sometime of that. And then finally the Old Faithful that I've had since 1979, the Fury Roadster, low level pipes. Other than that, and painted guards, other than that, exactly the same as the Fury SS. And this is the empty one, X-Vale Onslow empty one, which originally I bought in 1989 with a view to possibly getting parts to make this a runner, but then found a stash of them elsewhere that we managed to build another one from. Hence this one we've left totally original and unrestored as it left the factory. And it's got some very significant details on this, which allows me to identify it in various factory photographs. So it's definitely the one in with Karen Young there, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen before if you follow the channel. And also it's very one that was used at the launch, 1970, November the 10th, launch of the 71 range at the Royal Lancaster Hotel. Right. The only other thing I should say, quickly mention is, again, the Bandit and the BSA B50 isolastic. That's the P92 project, as was never given an official name, just a number kindly loaned by the National Motorcycle Museum. Thank you, Wes and James. And there we go. And we've been, pretty busy today. Had plenty of interest. Tomorrow's normally the busier day, which will be Saturday the 9th. And actually, so on Remembrance Sunday on the 10th, that'll be exactly the 54th anniversary of the 1971 range launch at the Royal Lancaster Hotel. There you go. Right, that's it for today. I'll bring you back tomorrow, and what we'll do then are some snippets of other stands nearby with BSAs on and anything interesting you'll find motorcycle wise. And then on Sunday, what we'll do is have a quick scan round of the rest of the show for those that are interested in the car side as well, which I am. Right guys, that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.